Clad in her distinctive metallic stormtrooper armour, Captain Phasma made it clear she was a woman of action. Disinterested with comfy war rooms far from battle, she not only commanded the First Order stormtrooper forces, but she fought alongside them as well. Whilst the First Order fondly embraced the military effectiveness of the Galactic Empire, Phasma privately conceded the shortcomings of its original stormtroopers. She believed that it was the interference of politics and short-sighted ambitious Imperial officials that led to soldiers of uneven skill and effectiveness. So she looked to guard her own men from such meddling, ensuring that only the best soldiers wore the armour of the First Order. Although her title suggested otherwise, Phasma's true rank was higher than that of a captain, and so she served as the third partner in the unofficial command triumvirate of the First Order and their Starkiller Base operation, alongside Kylo Ren and General Hux. Phasma herself oversaw the training of Stormtrooper FN2187 and his FN Core squad mates, FN2000, FN2003 and FN2199. Whilst Phasma defended her training methods and the skills of her troopers, General Hux raised concerns over FN2187. Whilst 2187 had the potential to be one of the finest stormtroopers ever produced by the First Order, even reaching the officer corps, he distanced himself from his squad mates and showed too much empathy, which was on full display when he risked the success of a training simulation to save FN2003. Not being one for compliments, Phasma described the simulation as adequate before speaking privately with FN2187. She ordered him to leave those who could potentially weaken the First Order behind, such as FN2003. After accelerating her soldiers' training, Phasma noticed a change in her top student. She even singled out FN2187, having him stand in front of hundreds of stormtroopers, pilots and officers to praise his skill, efficiency and ruthlessness. However, Phasma seemed to have spoken too soon. The following morning, the squad began intensive melee combat training. In a winner-stays-on format, 2187 defeated 4 enemies, including 2 of his squad mates, 9s and 0s. In order to surpass 0's streak, 2187 simply had to defeat Slip. Noticing FN2003 was not 100%, 2187 failed to take many opportunities to finish his opponent off, though eventually he decided enough was enough. Later, unimpressed and angered, Phasma once more told FN2187 that a real stormtrooper had no room for sympathy, but despite her concerns, Phasma readied the squad for their first deployment. The deployment was to a mining colony established in an artificial asteroid field, collectively known as Press's Tumble. The cadets accompanied Phasma for her negotiations with the mining facility's striking workers. The squad never knew what to expect, but they certainly never anticipated Phasma's words as they came face to face with the miners. She told the cadets to kill every single person who was not clad in First Order colours. Whilst the other members of the squad happily gunned down the defenceless workers, FN2187 couldn't pull the trigger. Although the mission's success granted the cadets a promotion to fully fledged stormtroopers, Phasma was once more disappointed by FN2187. She had such high hopes for him, but knowing that the First Order were ready for their next mission to the western reaches planet of Jakku, Phasma allowed him one last chance. She hoped a real battle would show him what it meant to be a stormtrooper. Under orders from the supreme leader of the First Order, Snoke, Phasma prepared an assault on Jakku to be led by Kylo Ren. Snoke was obsessed with eliminating the last of the Jedi, Luke Skywalker, and so hunted for a galaxy map leading to his location. Phasma and around 80 stormtroopers stormed the village of Twanul, believing Lord Santeca held the prized possession. The First Order's forces immediately began to lay waste to the villagers before capturing Tekka. Unfortunately, the old man refused to reveal the location of the map to Ren, leading to his swift death. All was not lost, however, as the forces managed to capture Resistance pilot Poe Dameron. Afterwards, in accordance with Ren's orders, Phasma and her troopers gunned down the surviving villagers and destroyed the entire village. Once back aboard the Finalizer command ship, she was keen to know how FN2187 had performed during the mission, asking for his blaster to be handed in for inspection. Having not fired a single shot whilst on Jakku, and feeling even more scarred by the events, 2187 worked together with the imprisoned Dameron to escape the resurgent class Star Destroyer. Phasma looked like a fool as a result. She thought her soldiers were conditioned to be the greatest in the galaxy, but FN2187 seemed to prove her wrong. The First Order discovered that the map had been hidden inside a BB unit droid, who had made its way back to the Resistance alongside the newly named Finn. As the First Order began to ramp up their efforts, Phasma was stationed on Starkiller Base to witness the superweapons destruction of the Hosnian system. After tracking members of the Resistance back to the car following the Battle of Takodana, the First Order planned to destroy the Resistance's secret headquarters. In retaliation, the Resistance planned to destroy the First Order superweapon. Along with famed smuggler Han Solo and the Wookiee Chewbacca, Finn successfully infiltrated Starkiller Base and sought to bring down the base's planetary shields. As Phasma was on one of her routine patrols around the massive complex, she was jumped by the Resistance members. Finn immediately began to taunt his former commander, claiming he was now the one in charge. Unfazed, Phasma declared she would not lower Starkiller Base's shields. However, backed into a corner and knowing that her perfectly trained soldiers would soon apprehend the intruders, she cooperated. With the shields down, allowing the Resistance fighters to attack the superweapon, Phasma was dumped down a chute into the sewage system of Starkiller Base. Now it's time for this week's question. Presuming Captain Phasma is still alive, do you think she'll play a bigger role in Episode 8? Let me know in the comments below. But wait, there's more. I have a bonus question for you. What was Phasma's armour coated with? A. A shiny mineral found on the mining facility of Precious Tumble. B. Salvaged chromium from a Naboo royal yacht that once belonged to Emperor Palpatine. Or C. An unknown material since she was gifted the armour by Supreme Leader Snoke. Find out the correct answer by clicking the link on screen or the one in the description. Also, while you're on thecountrysands.com, make sure to vote for future Star Wars The Force Awakens lore videos. Thanks for watching, and for more Star Wars content, keep locked here to the Country Sands. Look how fast you're going. Do you want a race?
I think yeah, man. Raise it. No rap.
Or do you want a raise?
Do you want a raise?
As in like raise.
Oh!
Star Wars puns.